Omega has a new show just for you. Tune in every Sunday at 12 p.m. for the VSS Hour with me, Vanessa Joseph, and my girls, Shirley Planton and Sandra Dennis. It's a Creole and English language show that talks about the issues happening in our community, in Haiti, and around the world. And if radio ain't your thing, catch us on Facebook Live on facebook.com/the VSS Hour. For more information, call 305-493-1111. Prochaine génération leaders nous yo. Radio Mega gen yon nouveau émission pour nous. Branchez chaque dimanche à midi pour écouter The VSS Hour avec Vanessa Joseph et Zamim Shirley Plantin et Sandra Denis. C'est une émission en langue créole et anglais qui parle de causes qui passent dans la communauté nous, en Haïti et dans le monde là. Ou ka gade nous tout sur Facebook Live, dans facebook.com/The VSS Hour. Pour plus d'informations, relez 305 493 1111. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Go ahead.
Sorry, I forgot. Go ahead. No, you go. You first.
Do it.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
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 Non, pas moi, c'est Vanessa Joseph.
Non, pas c'est Shirley Plantin.
Non, pas c'est Sandra Denis.
Et bienvenue dans le VSS Hour. Je dis une émission spéciale et c'est pour ça que Centra a changé place avec parce que jeudi, on a fait une crucial conversations avec Avancer Ensemble. So take it away.
Sure. Matin, n'a parlé après-midi. C'est jeudi, c'est World AIDS Day. Pour un peu de monde qui pas connaît, monde qui vivent avec AIDS ou bien HIV. Yo point juste ça pour nous capable éduquer peuple là qui ça cap passer et qui ça nous gain pour faire pour nous capable ouais pour disease ça pas gen impact la gen sur communauté so jodi an nous gen guest avec nous qui parler de ça y a fait dans communauté au niveau de HIV and AIDS, and we're super excited to talk to you all about that. So it's going to be a bilingual show like it always is. Some of our guests only speak English. There is an English speaking crowd, but for those who cap tande nou nan radio nous gen man nou ki parle Creole too, so it's going to be very interactive. And jodi an ap parle de sex.
But avant que nous commencer, Sandra, you got a couple of people you want to big up. Qui partner avec pour moun ba commencer que c'est juste sous VSS Hour. Ça avance ensemble a fait jeudi à la grand pile l'autre partenaire qui fait partie de l'île sur plusieurs plateformes. So c'est pas juste sur radio, c'est pas juste sur Facebook VSS Hour là. So I know you got a couple of partners.
Absolutely. I want to thank our amazing sponsor, AIDS Health Care Foundation, who's been doing this work for us for a long time. We have our partners with us today, Planned Parenthood. We also have Manu of MJD Wellness, who does amazing work in the community as well. We also have, of course, the VSS Hour, my co-host, who is always here with us to really help our community have conversations that are a little bit difficult, but very much needed in the community. And I'm excited because it's women. Today, women are going to lead this conversation. Parce que c'est nous-mêmes qui plus impacted in terms of HIV, AIDS, but also in terms of our culture and how we talk about sex. Okay. And so, aujourd'hui, on a parlé de sex. Sex is something, if you have kids in the car, excuse me, but even children, we should teach our children about sex. So we're going to talk about that, ask you all to share the live feed if you're on social media. And we're hashtagging World AIDS Day, Avancer Ensemble, just so that people can get in on the conversation and share it amongst their friends and their families. I know we didn't do updates, but ladies, do y'all have any general updates? We didn't say happy Thanksgiving to our guests, to our listeners.
Yes.
So happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody didn't eat too much. I know.
Toute musique Christmas yo commencé. I really, il y a un point que m'aime faire avant que nous entrions dans la conversation, c'est que premièrement, c'est pas la première conversation qu'on a ensemble fait. C'est en février. We did something similar to this where the VSS Hour, and we did it in Broward. Actually, we did it live
at AHF.
At AHF Studio.
For International Condom Day.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was.
Yes. And it was a great conversation. Pile moun te joui conversation. Huh? You know the shirt. We got to big up to the... No, girl. Calm down today. So, nous pas vle pour moun penser que c'est première fois avancer ensemble à mener conversation ça. Nous connaît c'est un chose fond point qui très valable. Si y a ti moun dans machine là, but yon un point que m'kwen après rentrer là-dedans, c'est que en pile nan moun que nous ouais, en pile nan nouveau kayo, c'est jeune que yo y tout parce que premièrement gon gap parents yo pas parler de ça parce que nous penser si que nous parler de ça c'est voyer nouveau ti moun yo al faire. So Sandra, I'm excited to be here and let's do this.
Definitely. I know Vanessa dropped something in the group earlier. Nous connaît again
no.
Again, just really quick. Nous pas parler de lui, mais again crise toujours Haïti. We are a show. We talk about things that are happening here. We talk about things that's happening in Haiti. So we know someone got arrested. There were a lot of guns, ammunition. What do the dope boys call those kinds of phones? Those phones that you can just burner phones. Yes. I don't know what was going on, but n'a toujours pour nous capable voir ça qu'a passé. V.
N'a just quitté reste là pour Patrick Eliansi expliquer nous ça qui passé avec arrestation en El Belize parce que si nous rentrer là dans le kounia nous pas bien temps fait chaud aujourd'hui parce que arrestation en El Belize that's big news.
Right. So let's start with our guest. We're going to start with Manuela, Manu. Then we're going to ask Kayla and Lexus to introduce themselves and the work that they do in the community. And I'm going to, from Manuela, we want to talk about specifically the work you're doing around condoms and HIV in the community.
Bon, pendant ce temps que producer a set up the mic pour mesdames, yo nous voulons congratulate Manu. Manu's doing amazing work out here with her health fairs and the way that she's addressing it, the way she's engaging the community. Nous voulons bay un chapeau bas pour Manu pour travail de MJD a fait dans la communauté. Sandra, so yes. My question for you, why this show?
Why this show?
Yeah.
Pour moi, je pense que avant nous arriver sur mesdames yo, je pense que nous sommes en communauté qui parle mais parler des bagailles qui that make us uncomfortable, that makes us nervous. We're a community that kind of shies away from those kinds of conversation. Pour moi, je toujours dis, c'est un coup nobody's having sex, mais nous toujours petit à fête. Nous toujours moun ap marié or people are in relationships, but it's so hush hush, and because it's so hush hush, it makes us so vulnerable to diseases, to unwanted pregnancies, to decisions that ultimately can change the course of our lives. So it's important to have uncomfortable conversations because the more you talk about it, the more comfortable you get with it, and it's a part of life. Right?
No, I'm pretty sure for my parents it still doesn't. It
doesn't exist.
No,
okay.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a conversation.
Covered your eyes when like a kissing scene came up. So it's important for us to have these conversations. I want to turn it away to the ladies to kind of talk about what they're doing. But why is it so important that we talk about sex in general? And then we'll talk about AIDS Health, World AIDS Day as it is today as well.
Bonjour mesdames, bonjour tout auditeur capitaine de nous, c'est un réel plaisir pour nous ensemble avec nous et jeudi pour nous parler de journée mondiale de maladie qui pas gagné curative. Non, moi c'est Emmanuela Fleurimont connu sur le nom de Manu et moi c'est médecin et psychologue en même temps. Et travail moi dans la communauté c'est aider porter plus éducation by peuple moyen dans tout domaine sur la santé, sur la psychologie parce que une série de conversations qui tabou grandette yo fait déjà mais nous même nouvelle génération nous dit on entre là-dedans tout pour nous est-ce que nous capable porter plus awareness to the community because the community is in need of it.
Hello, I'm Kayla. I'm the Broward County Regional Organizer for Planned Parenthood of Southeast and North Florida, and I mostly focus on making sure that the public is engaged in what's going on around them politically and advocacy, especially around consent and safe sex, because that counts as reproductive health. So all things reproductive health is what we advocate for.
Hi, my name's Lexis. I'm a community health educator. Also, I facilitate the teen outreach program. I work in a team of 3, and we work at Miami Northwestern, and we do different things in the community, such as health fairs, and we go around and educate people on safer sex practices and healthy relationships and things as such.
That's amazing work in the community. Thank you so much. We'll get more into the work that you all are doing, but I wanted to share some facts with you all. So we know that 1 in 7 blacks, African Americans, Caribbean blacks, Latinx blacks, are unaware that they have HIV, meaning y vivent avec HIV ou bien sida et puis yo pas connaît ça. People who do not know cannot tell their significant other, whoever they're having sex with, they can't tell you that they have any kind of sexual contracted diseases or HIV because they don't know, right? I'm going to also talk about women specifically, parce que c'est femme nous gagne là. Researchers show that HIV transmission among black women take place in heterosexual relationships. Ça veut dire, plus fort nan femme qui vient joindre qui gagne HIV ou bien AIDS, moun qui yo fait joindre que yo I'm sorry?
Résultat
que yo gagne HIV, c'est non heterosexual relationship. So, on femme à garçon yo non relation et puis youn by l'autre là HIV. Et puis c'est comme ça parce que il y a pile monde dans la communauté qui pensait c'est que les garçons à garçon ou bien femme à femme, c'est ça qui baille mon HIV.
But faut que nous fassions en éducation tout parce que c'est what we call a myth, right? Parce que en réalité c'est comme ça que conversation a été commencé, que maladie c'est fille à fille ou garçon à garçon qui te gagne seulement. C'est comme ça ils prennent bon gain même monde qui dit c'est bête qui baille. I mean so communauté a si tellement tant dans ces de bagailles. Et déjà en communauté qui pas trust gouvernement, li pas aider tout les que gouvernement met cop dehors pour éduquer yo et yo pas vle tande. So mon point que fait très important que fille qui contracte maladie c'est non relation fille à garçon que yo prend. Ça veut dire que gon monde qui bail dans relation et il pas nécessairement fuck son l'autre fille que le if that makes sense.
I would also add que ou ka joindre HIV l'autre gens, mais puis font nos femmes qui joindre HIV, c'est on moun on garçon que yo avec lui qui ba yo. That's it, right? And so it's important for us, and I want to pause to see no sex.
Okay, but
comme communauté a pas gen moun qui fait sex. Right?
So ça veut dire c'est ou bien moun nan te gen li pas connaît, ou bien te gen li connaît l pas di partner, ou bien troisième pendant là avec moun nan
ils joignent
comme li font petit pacha dehors là ils prennent puis le potel tout.
That's
what we're
right.
talking about. Yeah, that's what y'all telling me right now.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
And then the last thing I'll say before we turn back over to our guest is South Florida. Right? So South Florida, the weather is always great. There's always a good time here. Mais South Florida leads the nation in terms of new HIV rates. For example, in Florida you have Miami leading, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and then you have Jacksonville. So specifically, if you live in these communities, I think you have to be on extra alert.
Yeah.
You have to ask more questions because we know it's prevalent in these communities.
And not toujours the top whatever.
It
just seems to be, for as long as
get
I've been doing
beach,
this,
get clubs,
for as long as I've been doing this work,
Yeah.
I'm feeling ambiance.
Yes.
City. Okay, we gonna
Yeah, but that's the. See, I feel like we need to be careful when we say that because the thing is that c'est comme si c'est comme si le fait que vous sorti, le fait que vous engagez dans toutes sortes d'activités ça you're the one with the issue, whereas it could be que because I've seen it where it's people, the church going folks, the people who don't want to talk about this, the people who don't want to wear condoms, the people who don't believe in like any kind of like don't believe in reproductive rights and things, the ones that are most affected versus not the most effective, but the ones that I was dealing with.
Right.
And then, so to say that it's just because of that stuff, I want to be careful about that.
I don't think it's just because of that stuff. I would say that these communities where there's a lot of tourists coming in, we are more susceptible to these kinds of behaviors. Also think that, and this is a larger conversation that we can't have today, I think our community judges people a lot. So as a woman, if I want to go out, I should be able to go out. If I want to wear what I want to wear, I should be able to wear what I want to wear, and no judgment, because that is me. And I always tell people, as a Christian woman, I got to go before God by myself. Right? No one else will be there with me. So if it's okay with me, it's fine with me, and we shouldn't place judgment on people based on the lives that they decide to live.
Right.
But let's ask our guests a question. Why do y'all think it's so hard to talk about sex in our community?
Okay. All right. I'm going to say that one of the reasons that it's so hard to have this, it's so hard to have this conversation is because of the stigma that we place around not only just sexuality, but like STIs. Like, it's the first thing, like the scariest part about having an STI, even if it's something that's completely treatable and common, like chlamydia, you take one little antibiotic and you're done. It's very simple. It's just like an infection, like you gave somebody a cold literally through sex almost. Like, it's not something that medically is super scary, but we've societally made it so scary because now you have to tell people. Because if I found out I have chlamydia and I know that I had sex with somebody last week, now I have to tell him, and the first thing you're thinking is, oh my gosh, what is he going to think of me? He's going to think I'm dirty, he's this, he's going to think that. Like, we're not scared of actually getting STIs, I don't think, because you get it and it's gone. But we're scared, well, for some of them, but or even if they're not treatable, even if they're not curable, they're treatable. You can live a happy, healthy life with whatever STI that you have, but we're just scared of being called nasty.
Yes, to add, and like my colleague just said, according to research, 51% of the population, like in South Florida, not other, South Florida, West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami, moun sa yo souvent genyen attaqué par STI. Ki sa ke STI la, c'est maladie ou capable prendre pendant un contact sexuel avec un partenaire, quand on se dit chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes. Maladie sa yo souvent, yo même sa yo fait, yo c'est petit frère HIV. Parce que si ou prend maladie sa yo, ou pas traiter tête ou, maladie ça yo pral vin développer et puis toujours continuer à gagner contact intime avec l'autre partenaire sans que partenaire pour autant li pas fort connaît que lui-même li était attaqué par une maladie ça yo, automatiquement ça pral vin développer pi gros maladie la ka yo côté que ou ka vin affecté tout par HIV ya. C'est ça qui fait l'important quand on nous dit que l'important pour moun yo toujours checker pour yo essayer parler de lui, même si vous pas voulez parler de lui avec partenaire, mais parler avec médecin pour capable éduquer tête ou pour capable détruire la vie tout le monde. Et on bagay yo fait juste pour nous finir que moi vraiment apprécier depuis on moun ou gagne une maladie transmissible sexuellement ou ba yon l'autre partenaire li sans que partenaire pas connaît et ou te connaît te gagne y a metto en prison li c'est yon oui parce que c'est son cas grave HIV pas traité mais on ka fait prévention pour lui.
Manou m'ble mande une question directe. Pour qui ça l'air on moun reme akon l'autre moun on femme akon garçon femme yo pas mandé ça d'abord. Like pour qui ça c'est une question que nous permande on garçon sous nous avec lui. And for the English speakers, why is it that when women are in, heterosexual relationships, they are not comfortable asking the question directly? Wait. What is your status?
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, what's the question?
Do you have, what is your status? Do you have are you sleeping with other people? And just, awaiting a response.
Moi pense que I think that it's a question of fear or and a worry to get something that they don't have like for years or for months. But or they don't love themselves. Let me interpret it like that, or lost of or like loss of education, because the first thing you have to do before you even kiss a man or a woman, who are you inside of you, not outside. The outside is beautiful, because even the HIV people, as soon as the CD4 it's not high, you're not gonna see it. So you have to ask before you even kiss someone. Ask them, can I have a test to see who I'm dealing with? Because you don't know, anything can happen. But moi pense que na communauté nou tout, what's happened is because we're not educated enough about sex, about like what's gonna happen, or nous juste passer sous li because it's nothing, let me have a pleasure. That's we have to, as a young generation professional, we have to start like telling people, educate them about the fact what's gonna happen next. Après un jour de plaisir, quelques minutes de plaisir, ou capable perdre toute vie, ou famille, ou petit, ou pour le mettre, et ou capable tout, et bay on paquet l'autre monde, même maladie, ça, son parent nous compte. C'est une question d'éducation.
I think I want to address that a little bit. I think too, as women, so I got to kind of do this bilingual, right? I think for women, one, it's a question of how am I going to be viewed, right? So if I ask you, do you have a test, or have you been tested? Instantly, I'm worried about the repercussion. How am I going to be looked at? And two, I think.
What do you mean, how are you going to be looked at?
Because,
how do you know all this stuff about sex?
Well, that's the question. Well, why are you asking all these questions? That means how many partners do you have, right? So we're asking the question. N'a posé question, but nous peut tout pour moun n'a pas jugé nous. Qui j'ont fait contre toute question ça de sexe? Combien l'autre partner ou même ou gain qui cause wap mandem tout bail ça. But I also think on the other end, en pile fois en tant que fille, we have to be very honest. We're very emotional, right? So ou peut tout, I may be digging this dude, he kind of bad. If I ask these questions, man doit perdre, right? So I think we balance a lot in these conversations for fear of, not so much for the dude, but for fear of how we are going to be seen or judged,
right?
If that makes sense.
No, I think that's absolutely right. I think also the question then we will always put back on us is fear of losing a guy, or fear of having a disease that you have to live with because you were too afraid or lacked the courage. And I think it's taught, right? I think there's a conversation we need to have with our community. How do you teach women to be courageous, to ask questions that will have implications for the rest of their life?
Because it's not just a sex conversation. There's a lot of questions.
Consent.
Consent. We're not big on asking a dude, what's your FICO score, right? Because I'm going to end up having to, you got kids, like there's a conversation that nous does say. We dance around, we going to ask different ways, not realizing that ultimately they affect us as a person.
Like, for instance, do you have children? Do you have children here in States? Do you have children in Haiti?
Do you have a drama queen that I have to worry about?
What's your American age? What's your Haitian age? Are you divorced in Haiti and here?
Right.
You gotta ask all the questions so you can be clear, so that when something comes to you, you can know how to act. Because the first thing they're gonna say is you never asked that.
Right.
So I'm gonna go to Lexis, the educator, to kind of talk about how do you begin these conversations. I know you work with young people, and there are a lot of parents who are afraid to talk to their kids about sex. I think consent is one, but also, like, how do you begin to have these conversations with a community that where sex is so taboo?
What is consent? Let's talk about that, because people wouldn't pas comprendre what consent is, right? That's a word we say, but I don't know if we translate that well to our kids. What, no. Well, no, but yes, right? So what is consent?
And so consent is asking permission. If I ask you, can I use your pencil? That's me getting consent to use your pencil. So it's the same thing with any type of sexual activity. When you want to touch someone, what do you want to do with them and how you want to do it? You have to ask those questions, because you don't want to cross that boundary line to make someone feel uncomfortable, to think you assaulted them or raped them in any type of way. A lot of ways, I think, to begin the conversation, you have to be ready and you have to be honest. There's activities you can do. I went to a sexual ed conference, and they showed us this whole activity with all these questions. You go through it with your partner, and it talks about what you like, what you don't like. It asks questions about you, about your sexual history. It's little things everyone's going to be uncomfortable with it because the taboo around, oh my God, we have to talk about sex. Oh my God, I don't want to think about my child having sex. But in reality, they're going to do it. We just want them to do it the safe way and make healthy, informed decisions. So it's best to talk to them about it. Get an activity, show them a movie, read a book together. There's so many different ways you could talk to them about sexual health. There's a questionnaire. After I went to the conference, me and my boyfriend went through the questionnaire together. I'm like, this is just really good to start that conversation, and other questions come up to help you and your partner or whoever.
Also, when it comes to consent, so I did a lot of like organizing and like sex ed work while I was at when I was in college at FAMU, and I know when we would have events, like we had an event called Consent is Sexy, and one of the questions was, well, how I'm supposed to ask about everything? That's so annoying. I'm finna ask, and I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be like, so can we do this? Like, it doesn't have to be formal. It can be like, do you like when I touch you there? Like, do you want to take this to the bedroom? Like, there's very sexy ways to ask for consent. So
listen. And I think it's important to talk about consent because people keep, especially in our community, what you hear is because I invited him to my house, then I have to go along with it, or because they went to the room, then I gave him the signal that it was okay, him or her. And I think it's important for our community, especially parents with daughters and sons, to talk about what does it look like for you to consent. How do you say no? I used to ask my parents when I used to work with a youth group, and I used to ask the parents to ask their children, if you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation with someone that you like, how do you back away? Like, how do you think you went too far and now you're trying to swim back to shore? How do you do that in a way that you're comfortable and the person is comfortable? Because when we had a meeting with young people around sex, maybe 90% of them said their first sexual occurrence was an occurrence that they wouldn't have had they knew how to say no, or if they had conversations with their parents. Meaning they had sex and it never went there. Because they didn't have the words, they didn't have the language, they were never taught, that you can say no, or no matter what situations you are in, you can always back away if you're no longer comfortable. And I want to say something to Manu. Vanessa, want to say?
Yeah, I have a few things I wanted to say. So, premièrement, c'est difficile pour demander une communauté qui pas joindre ça pour yo kounya fait travail ça, right? So, à pile fois, nous connaissons que parents nous pas joindre éducation ça que nous-mêmes n'a joindre kounya. Right? So, étant que moun qui gen ti moun kounya, qui levé ti moun kounya ou bien qui pral gen ti moun, la position plus facile parce que pendant que nous t'es, like, ever since the 5th grade when they started sex ed, right? Or whatever grade it was that they started sex ed, nous t'es commencé gain éducation ça. So slowly but surely, we were getting the education as little kids that, like, this is conversations that you need to have. But generationally, that was not in existence for our parents. So it's difficult to ask them to now go do this work. And so m'pense que sometimes we have to share that burden amongst other people in the communities. And so that's when we talk about pastors. And the same thing is true for them, that this is an education that they never had and may go against what they feel is within their religious teachings and preachings. All of this is confronting the generation of the me generation, right? So they're calling the millennials, and then everybody that came after us, the instant gratification and everything like that. So, I mean, I watch kids never ask for consent for anything. They just take it. They just think they're entitled to it. And now, so you have these two generations confronting each other. So now, even when we have the knowledge, we're so consumed in what we believe to be ours and what we rightfully deserve. And Haitian men, you could say, like, I see where a lot of people say Haitian men would never have these conversations. They don't want to never have these conversations. And it may be black men in general, but I'll speak for what I hear on these streets. Like Haitian men never want to have this conversation. They just want to have sex when they want to have it, and that's it. You understand? And so we are seeing all of these people coming together right now. And so we've got to figure out a way to share this burden across everybody, because it's not just just, you know, the parents. It's hard for parents to have conversations that they don't understand how to have. I mean, if they're not having conversations about other things, they can't even have conversations with their child about balancing a checkbook. Now you go tell them about sex.
But I think,
and so go ahead.
I just think that being difficult, on ba qui difficile, pas vle di ou pa ka fel.
Ça va vle di que li impossible, mais ça m'a dit c'est que faut que nous joignons gens pour nous partager travail ça. It's not just, you know, the parents. I think faut que nous créer plus espace for everybody to have part of this conversation, because I've even seen it where like people get upset when their kids learn about sex ed in school.
But then, so that goes back to where I differ a little bit about sharing the burden. For me, I'm a parent, so I want for my son to hear that conversation from me first.
Right, because you're a parent in this generation who's been hearing about this stuff.
So
you're not my mama.
I know parents who have been absolutely livid. I'm not saying that they're against it, but they would have liked that the school give them a head up, or say, hey, this is a conversation that we plan on having, make it a part of the curriculum, tell me that it's coming so that I can prep my child, right? So I think as far as the burden is concerned, I agree that it should be a shared burden, but I also think
the onus should be on the parent. The onus should be on the parent.
I think our people are dying for lack of knowledge, right? And that's just the reality, because if we're expecting for the pastors to do it, they ain't doing it. Right. So at some point, it's platforms such as this, because we realize the others aren't working. We're in the schools, we're in the churches, we're in the community, like Manu, and we're still number one. The numbers keep coming. So as much as I agree, it needs to be an onus on all of us, but at some point we got to own up to it, right? And I think
I want to say one thing right before Manu. I think that having this show on a Sunday where we know people are on their way or coming from church, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of feedback. It's not something that I didn't think about. When we previously had it, we didn't do it here, but I think
we didn't do it on a Sunday.
And we didn't do it on a Sunday. I think pense que pour nous capable, and we have to confront things. In our community, Haitian community, we are the biggest denial. Denial. They will act like nothing is happening. So denial, and it's killing us. So I think rightfully so, although it's difficult, we've seen the results, and you know who's dying? We are. So no matter how comfortable, uncomfortable, we know we're going to ask the pastor to do their part. The VSS hour is going to do their part. I'm going to say son's going to do their part. Everyone's going to do their part. But we're looking at parents specifically. Because you, parents, as much as, whatever the generations are telling us, parents have a role that they have to play, and they have a trusted role with their kids. Those are your kids. They know you. The more you can establish a relationship where they can be open with you, the better they can be. And listen, if you don't do it,
somebody else will.
Somebody will. I'm convinced that like the day that sex becomes mainstream is the day that we're these conversations are going to be able to be had. It's not going to be so scary. Sex is not going to be this thing that's just there for the grown folks or whatever. Because these kids are acting grown as hell now.
You know what age they say kids know their genitals at 2 years old.
Yeah, and they start touching themselves very early. They start touching other kids very early.
Also, no boys touch a booty in kindergarten. Because
that's the thing. Exactly, and that's the thing. So the day that we make sex not this thing that we reserve for an age, we don't reserve it for whatever, we make it part of our daily conversation, then children could be educated. And the thing is that I believe, this is a personal belief, that you should have sex conversations with children at 2 years old.
Yeah.
When they're little, because the thing is that as they grow, sex means something different.
Right.
Touching is one form of sex that we come to understand as adults is a sexual contact. For them, it's just touching. It's just touching like somebody's treasure or their private part or their booty or their, secret, whatever. Whatever it's called at home, that's what they're touching. But those conversations need to be had at their level for what they're facing now.
Let's take it away to the guests.
Add something to that. And when discussing it with younger kids, it's important to use proper terminology. Say vagina, say penis, say the proper terms, because if these children get touched, they're going to say, oh, so-and-so touched my cookie to the teacher, and they're like, oh, they took your cookie? Well, did you share it with them? And it's like people aren't really going to know what they're talking about. You want them to be educated on what the proper body parts are, so when it comes to anything ever happening, they'll know exactly what you're talking about and give you full description.
And on bagay pour nous ajouter avec ça Vanessa t'a dit tout à l'heure concernant les parents haïtiens. Our Haitian parent, they don't take responsibility to talk to their kids. They don't have time. I understand you don't have time. Parce que you gain de job ou bien whatever, but créez un petit temps pour ti moun yo pour nous parler avec yo parce que là nous même nous festi moun yo. Ti moun haïtien yo gen un pile problème. Même là font activité pour ti moun nan ou man des parents pour venir, parents pas venir parce que le dit moi même faut mal travail. Yo plus penser à occuper yo de bien matériel là mais éducation ti moun nan yo pas fait. Moi rencontré un jeune qui gen problème que li bisexual. OK, li pas ka expliquer parents ça. Et ti moun ça li dans toute vie parce que me parler avec li dans toute vie toute activité. Parents la ka li a l'homme rencontre maman, dit maman, do you know that your kids is sexually active? She said how? I said with both men and women. Maman saisi li petit ou li en dedans la caillou. Et ti moun n'a pas gen aucune chance même yon jour pour ta même gen temps pour ta parler avec parents. So parents haïtiens, it's very important to talk to your kids about sex. Like she said, di ti moun nan bagay la jan lié, fait comprendre différence entre filles avec garçons. Qui rôle yo tous les deux. Moi songe, moi connais fille fait petite lem t'a fait 6e secondaire.
And
yes.
And I think when talking about sex with kids, we can definitely be age appropriate and not say wee wee and cookie and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can be age appropriate as in like when you're younger, maybe I'm going to talk to you about making sure that these are your private parts. This is how you take care of your private parts, and you make sure that nobody touches your private parts until like you feel ready or whatever. Like those types of conversations are important to be had with kids. And I also feel like when we're talking about parents having the conversations, it's important to break the cycle. I'm not trying to say that anybody's like a lost cause or anything, but if I have seen firsthand, I'm trying to have this conversation with my mom now that I'm older and like she's just not having it. I'm not gonna have that. I'm just gonna stop. And then honestly, when it comes to breaking the cycle, I would more rather, instead of focusing on like me now that I'm older, having the conversation with my mom, talking to my nephews, my nieces, my cousins, like we don't realize how strong of a presence like in your kids' lives that they have these mentors, right? Not only do they have their parents, they have the church, they have their friends at school, and they have their mentors. So we don't really need to focus on moms, have these conversations with your parents, with your kids, because even though that's important, a lot of times these kids, they care more about what their friends think. They care more about what their cool older sister, older cousin thinks, and sometimes they don't even want to talk to the parents. Like I know I told my mom, I was like, you didn't really talk to me that much about this stuff. She was like, you didn't let me. I was like, oh, let me shut my mouth because I feel like that's probably very accurate. But yeah, I think it's also important to put that responsibility on like older women, not just parents, but any older female figures, specifically in men and women, older female figures, male figures, whoever. Just if you are somebody that has younger people in your life, just talk to them about sex and stuff, as long as it's cool with their parents and everything. But I think it's important that other people, not just parents, have those conversations.
And even with adults, it's not easy to talk about sex. I'm gonna give you an example, guys. I have like condoms. I distribute condom in the community, and for me, when you are young lady, a lot of big men, they sit down together talking in 6th Avenue, and I see them every day. So me dit comment m'bral camper dans mi-temps monsieur ça pour m'bral parler avec eux de sexe, et me son fille tout paraît tout petit dans mi-temps yo, est-ce que yo bral prendre au sérieux? Minik vini me dit bon, m'bral bay chaque moun on bagay là, et puis vini m'bral li capote là, oh ça pour nous faire. Premier vue, they didn't receive me how I expected, because I think that the way that I look and the tall they are and the big men, they will not welcome me. And I said, you know how to use it? And someone said, can you show us? I said, oh, sure. Male, I get a bottle of water. I open the condom and I put it in the bottle of water. I said, this is the way to use it, to put it. And do you know that plenty of them, they don't even know how to put the condom? That night I was able to do it. And now we start a friendship. So now we talk about it, but there's certain people, they don't open to me yet. adult people that qui ka parler de sexe sans problème. Yo juste pas connaître si c'est parce que c'est fille ou bien si c'est parce que yo ouais, I don't know, but some people they don't want to talk about it yet. But c'est un bagage que faut que nous toutes nous faire pour nous ouais est-ce que nous capable éduquer moun yo dans chaque petit corner, dans chaque petit coin que nous passer parce que gen un pile moun, un pile jeune grand qui pas gagné vraiment capacité ou bien qui pas gagné connaissance dans une série de bagages.
I mean, all of this is amazing.
We don't listen.
And talk about, I want to do a short resume and talk about
Can I ask
next
you a
steps.
question
Sure.
before you do that? So, Manu sot font un point qui est très important. So, dans la communauté, c'est pas la communauté haïtienne seulement. En pile moun pense que question sexe là, responsabilité protection c'est sous garçon lié. Right? That the guy has to wear the condom. So, my question is, can women have condoms readily available? And I'm asking because on pile fois, that's not some of the things that women think about, that you too have that responsibility. Ou même ou ka gen, first of all, mo capote là, communauté a gen problème avec parce que yo do, oh my God, how does a female say that? So I'm going to pile pasteur yo pas zami. I know we had the same conversation last time. So I'm gonna, just like Manu said, so moi seulement son problème lié surtout laisser fille cap dire ou laisser fille potel. So en tant que fille qui besoin protéger tête yo parce que responsabilité this is our body, guys, and we need to be honest about it. So we cannot leave our life, our livelihood in the hands of the other partner. So my question is, surtout mesdames à l'équilibre, right? Y'all know us. We just about taking care of us first. Is it okay pour nous gain to have our own condom if you think that that's where it's going? Premièrement, they like yes, the whole panel. And then the second thing is, est-ce que gen capote fille et en pile moun nan communauté a pas connaît que gen capote fille. Côté fille a lui-même li ka mettel près de 8 heures de temps avant sou penser que yo ka faire out ça, you know, Sancho, Manu, whomever.
There's dental dams.
You play too much. So premièrement, pas gen moun ki responsable la vie ou but yourself.
That's right.
You have to be responsible of your life. Si tu pas faire moun confiance à la vous même. You have to be responsible for your life and for your health, right? They're negligent with their own health. How they gonna take care of yours?
No, but you do your mon central.
No,
problem you get you.
Pas question nan ren men,
Est-ce
question nan
that
much love in the world?
Est-ce que that sou capote la gen bought that sou? Est-ce que le pat nan machine?
Mais yo ren mon, et puis yo ren même tout, et puis yo ren même Vanessa tout. Gen moun ki te nan live là qui te ren nous tous les trois.
Tous les trois at the same time.
So that's first of all. Second of all, I think even in married couples, this didn't come up. I want to take an opportunity pour parler moun ki marié, ça fait 10 ans, 20 ans, 30 ans nous mariés. Pas oublier faire conversation ça yo pour qui ça gen pile petit d'ailleurs dans communauté par nous. Class my favorite band.
Come on.
Mais gen ba di nous qui te mari nous qui te madame nous me dit gen conversation nous pas capable faire yo.
But c'est pas petit de seulement.
Of course, they got girlfriends, boyfriends.
I was just about to say, gon série de moun qui nan relation longtemps. And you know they doing their things ou pas connaît. So son conversation indeed, I agree.
Right.
But
when you're going to go get your annual checkup, capote fille, yes, there women should bring condoms. Women should wear condoms.
Yes.
Let me turn to Manu. You have 1 minute.
On condoms, but there's one thing. Now, I thank God for that. There's PrEP. PrEP, it's a way that if you want to go live, if you love like one night stand, please ask your doctor for PrEP.
Wait. Manu.
We know the ones out here doing one night stands like that.
Manu. Make sure nous expliquer communauté ça veut dire parce que c'est pas un libertinage, c'est pas une licence liée tout, because right now there's a whole nother part where people are saying, oh, if I'm taking the PrEP, I can do whatever I want to do. So let's be very mindful how we give that information to them.
PrEP là qui ça le fait pour li éviter que si vous rencontrez avec monsieur Jean dans la rue ou monsieur Jean dit ou la boyon bagay ou vle prendre la main, li a éviter que ça monsieur Jean gagne à l'intérieur que ou même ou pas connaît pour pas transmettre la cas, parce que comme on nous prend et maladie HIV c'est seul si gagne contact sans accent. Mais il y a un pile l'autre maladie qui est dangereux, tout qui prend plus facile dans le contact sexuel sans pas besoin de contact sanguin. C'est ça que fait, l'important mesdames yo, monsieur, mesdames yo marcher avec un petit capote dans valise nous parce que pas gen moun sentiment moun pas ka jouer avec ça, peu importe niveau gain. Dès pour gen feeling nan c'est dégageau. Mais nous voulons que ou protéger tête ou parce que nous voulons gagner une communauté qui est en santé.
Oh, one of them?
Yes, I'm not sure, but also there's PrEP out there, but I still want to encourage condom usage because there's other things like chlamydia, gonorrhea, and all that. PrEP only prevents you from getting HIV. Yeah. There's herpes. There's still other things out there, so please use condoms. If you're on PrEP, PEP, ART, whatever you're on, just make sure you're still using condoms at the same time. And also about females carrying their own condoms. I work with young people and they're always like, no miss, we look lame, no, the guy's gonna think we're thoughts and all this kind of stuff. I think if we start encouraging like young girls at a young age to be powerful, to have their own voice, just encourage them to be an amazing young woman and to make their own decisions and everything, they won't be afraid of what other people are thinking, and they'll carry their own condoms because they'll understand it's me, it's my body, and it's my decisions. We really have to encourage our young girls to be better, do better, and to care about themselves.
I'm going to wrap us up. We're over time. Not DK, nous pas voyer mon al fait sex, mais nous connaît mon al fait sex. Right? So protect yourselves every 6 months, annually. Use protections, use condoms. Invite Planned Parenthood, AIDS Health Foundation, MJD Wellness pour capable faire éducation ça na l'église nous, na communauté par nous, azami nous. They're always ready to do that. Talk to your partners and your spouses and your friends. Educate your congregation, all that good stuff.
Et songez que en Haïti, femme qui gagne 15 ans à 24 ans, c'est eux même qui 3 fois plus chance pour yo gagne VIH parce que garçon.
Yeah.
So tant pis si ou gon ti famille, on ti zami en Haïti, surtout garçon yo qui gen pile ti zami Haïti, yo parle avec ti mesdames sa yo pour assurer que yo même yo pas contracter VIH là parce que c'est yo même qui gen plus chance pour
qui gen tout pile ti zami sa yo parler avec Manu pour Manu ba nou série de protection s'il vous plaît.
Amen. Thank you so much. This was the VSS Hour.
Et m'a just font dernier annonce 4 décembre ap gon fête nan Heartbeat Miami. So pour tout le monde qui aime alwe artistes haïtiens, tant pour passer dans Little Haiti Cultural Center at the Caribbean Marketplace 4 décembre à partir de 7h, et pour toute la semaine là, ap gen différents artistes qui sont Haïti, qui sont États-Unis, qui parle faire exhibition pour de yo, so tant pour al supporter artistes haïtiens nous yo.
Merci.
Et bonne fin. Non, pas moi, c'est Vanessa Joseph.
Non, pas moi, c'est Shirley Plantin.
Non, pas c'est Santa Denis.
Bonne fin de semaine.
VSS Hour, bonne fin de semaine.